Hi, I'm Freak Boy, and welcome to Freak Boy Runs. I originally wasn't going to do any recording today because of the temperatures. It's quite cold here for my long run today. It wouldn't be nearly as bad if it wasn't for the wind, but it feels a lot colder to me right now than it felt when I was running up in Canada at Christmas. You can see I'm wearing my mitts. I got my head warmer and ear warmer on. I got 5 layers on top, which I don't know, we'll see after a few miles if that was overkill. I feel I need it to keep the wind from cutting through and freezing me to death. But today's run is just going to be an easy effort. I don't think I'm going to worry about making it a progressive run because I'm running with the wind right now, so it doesn't feel too bad. When I turn around the south end of the park and start running against the wind, it's going to be brutal. So this week is, let's see, I'm going into week 6 of my Boston training cycle, and it's somewhat similar to last week. I've got a 15-kilometer threshold run scheduled. Right now it's scheduled for Tuesday. There's some indication that there might be some precipitation on Tuesday, so if it's snowing or raining or anything like that, I may delay it. Or if it gets really cold and it'll be better later in the week, I may delay it. But the 15K threshold is this time meant to be, I think, a 2-kilometer marathon pace effort at first, followed by 8 by 1200 meters with a 2-minute rest in between. So distance is the same as last week, but it's broken up a little bit differently with 1200 meter repeats instead of 1 kilometer, and only 8 of them instead of 10. So I feel like I've mostly recovered from last week's session. I still have some lingering tightness in my hamstrings, the right one being the worst. On the left side I have some mild concerns about IT band, just because the knee is bothering me from time to time, but I'm also getting some fluid building up on that knee that my massage therapists have been helping me with. So it may just be that, and when I see my therapist in, when is it? I think it's 3 weeks out still. Hopefully I can last that long. She should be able to take care of it. So I'm hoping that's not, get my beard in my mouth here. Hopefully, wow, having trouble speaking with this cold weather. Hopefully it's not IT band. I think it's likely that it's not. We'll keep an eye on it anyways. So I'll put the camera away for now. I may pull out once or twice, but I think for the most part, I'm just going to focus on staying warm and getting this long run done. Just about to turn due north and straight into the wind. And I expect that's gonna hurt. I don't regret at all my 5 layers that I've got on top. What do I got on bottom? I only have 2 layers on the bottom, but my legs never usually get as cold as my torso. It's been okay so far, but I've only been at it for about 45 minutes. I'm about maybe not quite a third done the total distance, so I got at least another hour and a half left of running. So far my paces have been progressive, but now that I'm going into the wind, I expect that's going to change. My heart rate is staying in zone 1. No surprise there, going at this pace. It's a little bit harder going against the wind though now. I'm a little mad at myself because I forgot. I was so worried about how cold it was and getting out into the cold out of my car. I forgot to do a warm-up. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Since I'm staying in zone 1, I still like to do a warm-up before every long run and before every type of intervals, any type of speed work. But today I've gone without it. I'll survive, but I can't make a habit of that. Okay, I just finished 14 miles. Just having a slight cool down jog here before I do my cool down walk. And I'll have to say I'm surprised in a couple of ways. One, the weather didn't bother me as much as I expected it to. I guess I dressed good. I suppose I didn't need, you know, the liners and the mittens, but let me put that back on. Better safe than sorry. The other surprise was that I didn't expect to do a progressive run. I just thought the wind was going to be so fierce when I was coming back in the northern direction, and it was, it is, but I don't know, it just didn't feel that bad, and I was able to keep speeding up while staying in zone 1 all through the first 12 miles. I didn't even get into zone 2 until miles 13 and 14, and even then only low to mid zone 2. So I'm going to call that a success for today. Oh, really feeling that wind now. I'm going to stop when I just get to the top end of this lake loop here, and I'll be done, at least the running part. Oh yeah, all done. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk 2 miles, maybe more, but 2 at least. Do a little cool down and call it a day. I guess I'll pick it back up with you guys probably on my threshold session, which right now is planned for Tuesday. I'll see you then. Well, it's really dark out right now. It's Friday morning. I delayed my interval session from Tuesday until now just because it's been cold all week and quite windy, and I've had to wear a lot of layers. Even today I'm wearing 3 layers, but I'm not wearing the really bulky warm stuff because it's a little bit better, just right around freezing temperature right now. So today's session is, after I finish my warm-up here, I will do 2 miles at marathon pace. Sorry, 2 kilometers at marathon pace. And then 8 by 1200 meters. I'm actually set for 0.75 miles since my Garmin's set up for miles. It's so completely dark. I know nothing's gonna come up on camera except when I have headlights shining on me like that, maybe. But yeah, 8 by 1200 is the workout with 2-minute rests in between. So we're gonna see how that goes. I've been a little bit worried about my hamstrings, but they're feeling okay the last few days. So we're gonna give it a go. Hopefully once it gets light out, I can pull the camera out a little bit more and get some proper footage. I'm about to have to start my marathon pace. So we'll see you in a minute. I just finished rep number 5. So far, all of them at 5 minutes 30 or 5 minutes 29. That pace is just slightly slower than what I was running my 800 meter reps at last week, but it's a lot colder today. I'm wearing a bunch of layers. Could be other reasons. My heart rate is playing ball. These reps are, again, all meant to be in high heart rate zone 3, low zone 4. And that's exactly where I've been on all 5 so far. Hopefully I can keep it up for the last 3. I just got maybe about a minute left of my rest here. So I'll put the camera down so I can get my heart rate down before I start again. Oh. Okay. Just finished. Repeat number 8. Saw a bobcat this morning. That was cool. He's just a small one. Oh my god. So every repeat was either 5:29 or 5:30, except for repeat number 7, which actually would have been, but I messed up. I looked at my watch. I thought I had gone over and missed the announcement and the watch beeping and stuff. I don't know, I just got confused and I slowed down and I looked at my watch and realized, oh no, I still have to finish. And that one ended up at 5:33. So I'm really happy with the consistency of the pace. I managed to keep pretty much the exact same pace on every rep. My heart rate was high zone 3 and low zone 4 throughout. Even at the end, it only got into the low 160s, like 161 or so. Average, I think, on every repeat is going to be high zone 3. So I'm happy with that. I felt only some slight tightness in my right hamstring. I think it's going to be okay. You know, I try to err on the side of caution. I have to decide what I'm going to do next week, because I do have another interval session, which is another threshold run next week. But I've also got a half marathon race on Saturday, February 1st. So I have to decide what I'm going to do. I think what might make sense is that I don't run both of them hard. So either I change the threshold session to just run maybe marathon pace and race the half marathon, or I do the threshold session as a threshold and just run the half marathon at marathon pace. I'm not sure. I'll decide as the week progresses and see what happens, see how I feel recovery wise after this session. I've only got one day in between now and when I do my 14-mile long run, so I do want to be careful there and make sure we really take it easy tomorrow, and that the half marathon or the 14-mile long run just stays very easy. So okay, well, we'll sign off for the time being. I need to get my hands back into my gloves because these liners aren't cutting it right now in this temperature. My fingers are getting really cold. Alrighty then, my fingers are warmed up, they're back in my ski gloves. I feel better. I caught my breath. I feel really good about that interval session, even though the pace wasn't as high or as fast as it was last week. That's okay. My heart rate was right exactly where I wanted it to be on all of the reps. I was really happy with that. That's the important thing. That's the goal. My idea of wearing the hydration vest was good intention, but it didn't really work. The tube froze before I could even get a single drink. So I ended up with no water. I did take a couple of gels, and that seemed to keep me going. Would have been better if I had some water. I don't like really getting any kind of level of dehydration while I'm working that hard, but what are you gonna do? It wasn't too bad. The hamstrings seemed to be okay. Like I said, maybe just a little bit of tightness on the right side, but nothing that's concerning me right now. I will, I'll just be careful, play it by ear on how I manage next week's threshold session and half marathon race, and we'll just see how it goes. This life of marathon training and trying to improve and get new personal bests, you're always right on the edge, just walking that line between health and injury. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I seem to be on the right side of the line right now. So hopefully that continues. I'll wrap this video up for this week, since I don't think I have really anything more going on this weekend to talk about. I will catch you next week, maybe during my long run and during the threshold session, and then I'll try to do a video for that half marathon. But if you enjoyed this series of videos, and particularly this one, please like and subscribe, and comment and share if you have time for that. And until next time on Freak Boy Runs, Freak Boy out.